What's up, Titans Nation? My name's Taylor. I'm a diehard Titans fan. Moved to Nashville back in 97-ish. The same year the Titans moved down to, the same year the Oilers moved up to town. Pretty much been diehard ever since. I'm recording now from California, where I've been living for the last 15 years, but have obviously stayed loyal to our boys. Created this basically Titans cave here in my garage, where it has become kind of my sanctuary. So just very excited for the season to start. We have finally got ourselves a good GM after enduring years of Reinsfeld and Webster. We have John Robinson, who has basically rejuvenated and revitalized the Tennessee Titans fan base in general, as he has aggressively made not just moves, but smart moves to make the franchise better. Webster was able to make a no-brainer selection. This guy right behind me, Marcus Mariota. I think that was a key to the foundation of this team. But within one off season, John Robinson was able to get us a instant run game. He shored up our offensive line, protecting Marcus Mariota. We were last in sacks allowed in the NFL 2 seasons ago. We cut that number in half. A lot of Titans fans argue that, well, Marcus still got injured, but the honest truth is that could have happened to anybody, and it was probably more on Marcus than it was on the offensive line, because he probably should have scrambled in that last game. But that whole Jags game, as every Titans fan knows, that was a very painful Christmas Eve for all of us. And that game was a killer almost from the get-go, as we were not able to get anything rolling. I think our young team learned a hard lesson as they went into that game probably thinking, well, these Jags are 2-13, whatever they were at the time. We got this one in the bag. All we got to do is concentrate on the Texans, which ended up being an unimportant game in the sense of playoffs and division titles and whatnot. So very frustrating for Titans fans. And this year we've got a lot of hope. There's a lot of hype around this roster. I think it was PFF rated our roster number 3 in overall talent. That was behind Atlanta and the Patriots. To me, it's not far off. They have the potential to be really good. Our offense is going to be tough to stop. Somebody had said on Twitter that last year the Titans added the smash mouth, and this year we added the exotic, adding Corey Davis in the draft, Adoree Jackson, who will primarily play defense and special teams, I'm sure, but I wouldn't put it past Robiskie and Mularkey of them throwing him in the mix and in the offense, get him on film, make defenses respect him and have to game plan for him every week. So a lot of hype this year around our Tennessee Titans. And to be honest, Mularkey wasn't my favorite hire. I don't think too many Titans fans were pretty stoked about his hire. And I'll admit that I was one of them that was skeptical, but he has a roster now. He never had that talent with the Jags or with the Bills as a head coach. So this is actually his first real test. If he can make his system work in the NFL, he will definitely earn the respect of fans and the NFL in general. The big criticism is, well, this run-first offense doesn't work in today's NFL. Everybody wants the flashy, high-flying quarterbacks, receivers, passing game, all that. But the honest truth is we can't always you can't. What happens is when you get a run-first offense like ours, you have to respect it. And what are most defenses built for right now in the NFL? They're built to stop the pass, which means they're full of small linebackers, fast cornerbacks, but can't tackle. So you make teams put out their small packages or their larger packages to stop the run. And now with weapons like Corey Davis and Rashard Matthews, now the Titans offense has some options. You can throw deep. Look what we did last year without too many offensive passing weapons. We basically forced the Denver Broncos, who are the number one passing defense. Now, granted, Marcus didn't have a great game against them, but we put them in their base package on defense, and they don't like that. They like to play in the dime. But when we made them go into their base package, they had a very hard time stopping our run game, which is ultimately what led us to win the game. So lots to be excited for. This offense is going to be tough to stop, and our big question mark for the season this year is not so much our offense, because if we stay healthy, I think the Titans offense has a very good shot at being unstoppable in scoring a lot of points. But we also need to shore up that defense. Logan Ryan was a huge signing in a secondary that was complete garbage last year. I don't know. I guarantee all of you guys were thinking the same thing as you're watching those games. It's so painful watching Jason McCourty, who has been our rock and probably the biggest bright spot in our secondary for the last half a decade or more. Just watching him cover but never turning around and looking for the freaking ball. That was so frustrating. None of our corners actually, especially Cox. Don't get me started on Parrish Cox. So painful. But looking forward to a great year this year. Representing a lot of Facebook social groups. Tennessee Titans Uncensored, sponsored by my friends who do a podcast, Two Tone Uncensored, very good podcast to listen to during the season and off the season as well. Also, we have California Titans Fans, which is a pretty good group for those of us who live local, way far away from the home base. We can mingle and mix with some local Titans fans for tailgates and other activities. Looking forward to the season, guys. Tighten up.